Hello, this is Caleb Smith with the Rocket Miner newspaper, here to provide an update for December 14th, 2020. Sorry it's a little bit later than usual. School board meeting went long, as it's easy to do. It's still going on right now as of this recording. There's an executive session for potential legal and personnel issues. It's not the only big thing going on that I would point you to for the website. Our local health leaders in Sweetwater County provided an update today on the state of the coronavirus, how it continues to be worrisome for the experts who are acting on our frontline defense, and what we can expect when it comes to vaccine possibilities as they're beginning to be rolled out in Wyoming and elsewhere across the country. Short version, we're not getting any of the first batch of vaccine doses that are coming to the Equality State, but it does look like we could be getting a batch coming next week, and hopeful more to come by the end of the month. The initial vaccines are being directed toward those in the medical community, our frontline healthcare workers, since they are staring this thing right in the face day after day. I would also point you to rocketminer.com, where we have a look at the confrontation that occurred at the Rock Springs Family Recreation Center this weekend, involving Police Chief Dwayne Pacheco, Mayor Tim Como, and multiple unmasked people who were questioning the mask mandate that's been in place in city buildings for several months now, dating back all the way to May. No one was arrested for not wearing a mask, but one individual was arrested for alleged disturbance of the peace, verbal, first offense. We're able to get extensive details and talk at length with both Como and Chief Pacheco, and I would point you to that. But I want to just return to the school board meeting that we started with. Sweetwater County School District No. 1 continues to face a crunch, financial, brought on by the decline in the energy industry the last couple of months and further exacerbated by the coronavirus. The Select Committee on School Finance Recalibration asked the school district and particularly the trustees to kind of give them a feel about what can expect with some of the budget cuts that are being discussed. On December 2nd, in a special school board meeting, trustees decided to redraft their letter. While they like the idea of explaining what cuts have made so far and what they think severe steps would be required to meet additional expectations and burdens placed on them by the legislature, they wanted to put more life, pour more faces on this case. So, having decided to endorse the most recent draft of the letter, and you can read it. If you don't want to hear from me anymore, you can see it at both the school district website or rocketminer.com. But I would like to read from you from the entirety of the letter. Stated December 14th, 2020, and is directed to Senator Kinski, Representative Summers, and members of the Select Committee on School Finance Recalibration. Thank you again for the opportunity to respond to your original request dated September 30th, 2020. This letter is a follow-up on the district letter dated October 26, 2020 to the Select Committee. Sweetwater No. 1 has completed their cost savings task force. This process consisted of 4 evening meetings with an in-person and online hybrid model involving 42 stakeholders, including community members, district employees, parents, and a student. The district provided multiple avenues for the public to be involved in the process and provide two-way communication with the community involving 3 virtual public forums, a district email created for cost-saving ideas to be submitted, and feedback from the task force. The purpose of this letter is to share these findings. As you can imagine, a multitude of suggestions were put forth. Our intent is to share those measures that would have the most impact on our community and the district. The greatest loss is the amount of jobs that would leave the area and state. Our district has testified as to the difficulty of recruiting and retaining quality staff. Once teachers leave the area, they seldom return. Similarly, the loss of a teacher means the loss of a family, resulting in a decrease in the tax base. This has a domino effect of losing the student population when families move away, including the employment opportunities of the spouse. When industry considers relocating to an area, one of the first considerations is the quality of the local school system. Continual cuts to schools, resulting in job losses, discourages the prospect of diversifying the economy in the great state of Wyoming. In this familiar scenario, recruiting quality employees affects education and industry as well. The district has not been immune to financial cuts in previous years. The following are their budget cuts by year. 2015 to 2016 school year. 75 paraprofessional positions lost due to reduction in force, RIF. Elementary boundaries rezoned for the opening of Stagecoach Elementary. Transportation costs actually increased. 2016 to 2017 school year. Frozen salaries, steps only, for all staff. Lost the following positions: 9 teaching, 5 central administrative office positions, 2 full-time maintenance positions, and a high deductible insurance plan implemented. 2017 to 2018 school year. Frozen salary steps only, for all staff. Lincoln Elementary closed and elementary boundaries rezoned. Early retirement incentive losing 25 certified employees. 13.5 instructional coaching positions lost, 3 classified positions lost, moved from 6-day to 7-day elementary rotation schedule for specials, art, music, library, PE/health, with 18 instructional days lost in PE/health, resulting in not hiring additional teachers. For the first time, nutritional services was not self-sufficient and was subsidized by $1,093,990 from general fund due to increased labor and food costs and lower participation. Despite being a member of a purchasing co-op to help reduce food costs and secure bulk pricing, food is coming from out of state with increased costs. The school foundation does not provide any funding for nutritional services due to statutory requirement of having a self-sufficient program, which is no longer possible for districts. 2018 to 2019 school year. Frozen salaries, step only, for all staff, lost 14.5 certified positions. School start and end time streamlined due to transportation funding cap. The special education funding cap resulted in $47,541 not being reimbursed. Again, nutritional services was not self-sufficient, resulting in $385,430 subsidized from general fund. 2019 to 2020 school year. The district was unable to fill 25 teaching positions at the start of the school year, resulting in 15 full-time substitutes hired in lieu of certified positions and closed 10 positions due to no applicants. The special education funding cap resulted in $625,633 not being reimbursed. Again, nutrition services was not self-sufficient, supporting in $200,000 subsidized from the general fund. 2020 to 2021 school year, the district was unable to fill 11.5 teaching positions at the start of the school year, reporting in 5.5 full-time substitutes hired in lieu of certified positions and closed 6 positions due to no applicants. The district has 33 teachers on exception authorizations through the Professional Teaching Standards Board due to a lack of qualified candidates with proper certification. The Human Resources Department was restructured with the loss of 1 position. For 2021-2022, a 4-day instructional school week is being planned. A school is like a second home to children and the employees who work there. Every time we are forced to close a school, it tears the community and family apart. It takes a long time to recover from something like that, and now we are talking about closing 3 to 7 schools based on future forecasted budget shortfalls. At some point, we need to stop and really take a look about what this is doing to our students and their future. And just to describe the graphic that appears here, the elementary schools projected cost savings and the positions lost are provided in the table below. These are for both K through 4 and K through 6, and 5th grade and 6th grade schools. For anonymity's sakes, just so you don't have any bias, the schools are identified by number and not by their name. And of the 9 elementary schools that are in Rock Springs, the savings and positions impacted are as follows. School number 1, 23 certified positions lost, 5.45 classified positions lost, a savings of $2,673,791. School 2, 22.88 certified positions lost, 5.45 classified positions lost, a savings of $2,455,642 saved. School 3, 19.25 certified positions lost, 4.73 certified positions lost, a savings of $2,344,565 saved. School 4, 20.5 certified positions lost, 4.73 certified positions lost, a savings of $2,333,751. School 5, 20.5 certified positions lost, 5.45 classified positions lost, a savings of $2,255,408. School 6, 20.25 certified positions lost, 5.18 classified positions lost, and a savings of $2,208,017. School 7, 20.4 certified positions lost, 4.45 classified positions lost, and $2,193,385 saved. School 8, 19.25 certified positions lost, 4.45 classified positions lost, and a savings of $2,136,377 saved. And then last, school number 9, 17.2 certified positions lost, 5.9 classified positions lost, at a savings of $2,033,513. A 10% reduction to the Sweetwater number 1 block grant results in a loss of $8.14 million. If schools 1, 2, and 3, and the example above were closed, this would result in a budget savings totaling $7,473,998. This does not even meet the minimum 10% cut the cuts asked for districts to consider. Now let's consider the effects of closing schools on class size. When schools close, the students must be placed in remaining schools to receive instruction, thus including class size. By increasing class sizes to cut costs, we are putting our most vulnerable students at an even bigger risk of not making it to graduation. For students who are already considered, or for children who are already considered at-risk students, they will struggle even more because they will receive less one-on-one attention than they already are. For example, consider increasing a secondary teacher's class size by 8 students. If a teacher working on a 6-day period schedule spends 5 minutes per day evaluating and diagnosing and evaluating each student's performance, that means an increase of 48 students and an additional 240 minutes. This extra workload and lack of time to look at individual students' needs would negatively impact student learning and success. As mentioned above, Sweetwater number 1 already struggles to recruit and retain quality teachers, shown by the number of unfulfilled positions in the last few years. Wyoming can hardly afford to lose our quality teachers to surrounding states or careers outside of education. The photo below illustrates a classroom of 35 students. This would be the district's new reality of forced to close schools due to budget cuts. There's not really a great way to show the photo. I will try not to knock things over by doing this. Yeah, that doesn't look well. I would just point you to rocketminer.com where we've cropped and provided the photo for you. And the handy-dandy just snap to version of the chart that I spent all that time reciting to you. Just from what you may not have been able to say, desks with the students are crammed into pretty much every possible space. Some students are even backed up against the wall. Teachers really doesn't have any room to negotiate. And these are small kids, let alone if it'd be a classroom where middle school, high school aged kids, where growing boys and girls take up more space, and that would even be a more packed position. Returning to the letter, if a classroom evacuation were necessary, such as in a fire, the health and safety of students and staff would be at risk. Ample walking space is not available. Desks are scrunched together from the front of the room clear to the back. From an instructional standpoint, a teacher could not walk to a student in the middle of the row for one-on-one instructional support. Children suffer, despite educators' best efforts, when class sizes experience increases. Closing multiple schools will be necessary to address a 10% reduction to school district funding. Vacant structures and the resulting loss of jobs are not good for any community. Sweetwater No. 1 has made every effort to keep previous cuts away from students and instructional programs. With further cuts of the magnitude described in the legislative letter, job losses and changes to the instructional programming for students seem to be among the few options left to consider. The quality education cited in the Campbell decisions is now at risk. The quality education currently provided for our students due to a reduction in financial resources will be sacrificed. In short, a 10% cut would force the districts of Wyoming to make significant changes to how we offer education. Say not of a 20% cut, which would devastate public education, and a 30% cut that would make the system non-functional. Most credible research finds that music, art, physical education, and library are just as crucial to classroom success as math, language arts, social studies, and science. It is these opportunities that provide motivation and engagement for some students to stay in school and graduate. Studies have shown over and over that these subjects increase achievement scores, improve mental and physical health, and strengthen a student's ability to focus and to think critically. These outcomes provide diverse learning opportunities for students. The mental health needs of our students are increasing with services and supports lacking. Social work and counseling are the top related services in the district. The school foundation does not provide any funding for elementary counselors. Further ideas suggested for cost savings included pay to play for athletics and activities, early retirement incentives, and limited increases to class size. Sweetwater No. 1 has previously offered early retirement incentives and increased class sizes beyond the recommendations within the funding model in order to meet the funding limitations already imposed. The Wyoming K-12 Education Funding Deficit White Paper Report, dated December 28, 2016, listed 5 areas where the legislature can find solutions to the problem. They included the following. 1. Identify reductions or modifications to the current funding formula for Wyoming school districts and reductions to appropriations to state agencies from the school foundation program account. 2. Identify current savings that could be used to offset program shortfalls. 3. Identify existing funding streams that could offset revenue shortfalls. 4. Identify spending policies that could help offset funding shortfalls. 5. Identify revenue enhancements that could offset revenue shortfalls. Option number 5 has yet to be implemented. During these last 4 years, school districts have had to cut. It has been mentioned many times that the state cannot cut its way out of this critical juncture for K-12 education in Wyoming. The Sweetwater No. 1 Board of Trustees is in support of a 1-penny sales tax dedicated to funding K-12 education. And the letter concludes, sincerely, Carol Jellicoe, Board Chairwoman, Stephanie Thompson, Board Vice Chairwoman, Matt Jackman, Treasurer, Max Mickelson, Clerk, and Trustees Andrea Summers, George Reedy, and John Batolo. School district trustees stress that, like I said, this letter isn't just for lawmakers, though that's how it got started. But there have been supplements from the school board and school district members that they have a communication challenge with the fact that they have worked very hard to keep the last several school years worth of budget cuts from having a noticeable impact on students and the services that are provided to them. Some people seem to think that that there's a big old fat turkey that's ready to be carved up, and as was voiced in one of the public comments at tonight's public meeting, there's no fat left. We're down to we're pretty much just down to the bone. It remains to be seen what the school district is going to see, but the school district is hopeful that they can spread the word about this is the severity of this current situation, and these are the solutions that they anticipate coming down the line. They're not asking you to like a tax. They're not asking you to like cuts. They just want people, particularly the public, to know what's facing our community, what's facing our kids. And of course, what happens to our kids touches our community. Like I said, you can see the letter in its entirety on the Sweetwater No. 1 website, in addition to rocketminor.com. You can get a better look at what it does look like when you put 35 kids all into one classroom, in addition to our additional coverage of the school board meeting, which, among other things, featured the district voting to pass additional early incentives for early resignation, retirement. Questions about why is the Rock Springs High School swimming pool being drained over the winter break, just other interesting things that I wanted to highlight from the meeting. In fact, the school board has decided to keep the same officers as the previous term. Anyway, this has been Caleb Smith with the Rocket Minor newspaper, going on for longer than I intended, but I still wish to impart to you a good day and a safe tomorrow. Bye.